So a little topic here, and we'll get into another one right after that. So just announced on PlayPennsylvania.com as of today, this Friday, or it might be past when you hear this, about a couple days, but Friday, October 16th, the poker room at Mount Airy Casino is reopening their first poker room, and the Pennsylvania Gaming Board gave them 12 tables that they're going to open up. Now, I don't know if it says in here if it's like seven-handed or whatnot. I did not see that.
It doesn't say. No,
So,
it doesn't say.
The rumor was that it was seven-handed. Now, the other flip side of that, Pennsylvania, New Jersey / Atlantic City, and all the Delaware casinos, and Connecticut, and only one in New York is open. So pretty much the Northeast has been shut down completely for the last 6 months. Pennsylvania is reopening up this week. Let me ask you this first. If Atlantic City opened up, would you go play?
I would say, yeah, I would go play just to see what it was like, just to see if it's something that I could see myself doing on a more regular basis. Like, obviously, I want to get a feel for it, especially if the new restrictions that they have with the plexiglass dividers, or you having to wear a mask or whatever, becomes like a mainstay for a while. I want to be able to see if it's something that I personally can, deal with, and then I kind of want to have an opportunity to report back to other people to say, like, look, it's not as bad as you think, because I think a lot of players are very skeptical, and they're, some are just kind of annoyed that they would even have to go through that.
I think so. I think for me, and I think we're kind of on the same page here. Like, we both obviously believe in the virus, so we know it's real. We're not these like,
there's no doubt in that.
We're not like hoax people, like, oh, it's not real. But at the same time, I think it's very hypocritical that you are going to have roulette tables open, blackjack tables open, doing the same exact thing. You're passing chips back and forth.
Yep.
You're touching the cards in blackjack. You're sliding them back and forth. You're literally doing the same exact thing. You have someone standing across from you. You're actually probably, the blackjack tables are actually, even though they're supposed to be spaced out, you're still probably closer than you would be on a poker table anyway. So I think that, yes, I believe it's real, but I do believe if you're going to open that, I don't understand the difference of that. Now, the original executive order for Atlantic City said that they could open up, but it was like four-handed poker, and no one wants.
No one's playing four-handed.
No one wants to play four-handed poker. I mean, maybe like some super high roller cash game, maybe they will want to play that, but I mean, no one wants to play four-handed poker. I think minimum, I think you're going to see is at least 7 players is what you're going to see. Delaware, same thing. They're all closed down. Connecticut's closed down. I think that once this Mount Airy poker room opens up, I think it might open up the floodgates. There's been rumors. I reported on a rumor that I had some inside information on. Parks is supposed to be opening up in the next 5 to 6 weeks. Probably by the time you hear this, probably about 5 weeks. That should be open. But that's just cash games. I don't think. When do you think we're going to see a tournament?
Oh, I don't know.
Like I'm not talking like a daily. Like I'm talking like an event.
Yeah.
Like an event.
Well, like we reported on last month, with the Venetian, their series is just coming to a close. We actually got in contact with the tournament poker room manager out there, threw him some questions. He's going to be giving us a response about how things went out there with that event. Probably touch on that in a future podcast. But I think the first step is exactly what's happening. They're going to see how the cash games go, and then open it up to most likely dailies. You'll probably see Borgata, some of the smaller casinos, maybe even Bally's or Caesars, whatever, start having small dailies, and then they'll just go from there. I don't think we're going to see a tournament series on the East Coast at least spring, March, April of next year at the earliest.
I don't think we're going to see one until next summer.
You don't think?
No, I don't think you're going to see a major event series until next summer. That's just my opinion, because I think it's just you're going to copy and paste last year's trend. You're going to have the numbers going through the roof because you're going to have your normal flu season happening.
Yeah.
It's going to spike in February and March like it does every year. People are going to freak out again, or hopefully there's a vaccine, but it's going to take a while for everyone to get it. If I had to bet, I'm going to say next July we'll see our first. Now, this is Northeast. We're not talking about elsewhere. I'm talking about strictly Northeast. And I think we talked about this before, but it's like, and I'll probably say it again, I feel like we have the Northeast player, I felt like in the last couple of years had such an advantage over the rest of the world. I mean, you saw every year. I mean, I've been thinking about doing some kind of like report on it for USPoker.com. There's been literally a bracelet event winner, not include. I mean, obviously this year because of the WSOP online, but
Yeah.
there's literally for the last I think 8 years, there's been a WSOP player that I mean, it's someone that's won a bracelet, like a live bracelet, that's been from New Jersey or Pennsylvania. Every year, there's like one or two because like there's just so many tournaments here. You have online poker, you have live tournaments literally every single week in the Northeast. And you can travel within an hour or two, and you're at a live major series. And I'm not talking like a daily, like we're talking like 500, 1,000 player fields. So I think we've been so spoiled here, and I hope that our curve of like player knowledge doesn't drop down. You know, we fall because I felt like we had an advantage. Like we got to Vegas, and I feel like I know you feel this because we talked about it. I feel like I would get away with so many more aggressive things
for sure. Mm-hmm.
in Vegas that would never work.
Well, that's
here.
like we said, like, you know, not to beat a dead horse, but we talked about like going and playing the cash games at like the Flamingo. Granted, it's the Flamingo. They might have a certain type of reputation to, you know, the high echelon poker players. But again, we would go in there and it would be like, I don't want to say like shooting fish in a barrel because look, I am not a great player by any stretch of the word, but we would go in there and confidently be able to
beat the game,
like really, really exploit some glaring holes in people's games and walk away, you know, up a couple hundred, even a couple $1,000s by the end of the trip.
Yeah. That would never work on the East Coast.
It would never. It would
if
never.
If you ever come to places like the Borgata, some places in the Northeast, even like parks, like you'll find some people might call it easy, depends on how your style of game is, but it's very aggressive.
Yeah.
Very aggressive player in the Northeast. There's a lot more money that floats around up here in the Northeast. You get some people that just don't give a shit and they're just literally, you know, real aggressive with their money, and you don't see that as much. I mean, granted, like I said, this is low limit stuff we're talking about. We're talking about 1-3, 2-5 range. We're not talking about like the big stuff. But just, you know.
I mean, and also you got to look at it too. Vegas is like a tourist attraction,
mm-hmm.
whereas most people come in Atlantic City. Like, granted, yes, do people come here for tourism? 100%, but it's mostly people coming from New York, Pennsylvania. You know, maybe even as far south as say like Virginia, Maryland. Like, it's not really an escape for them. Whereas Vegas, you have people coming from all over the country, all over the globe to go play poker, and they've never even played in a casino at all.
Yeah.
So the experience level of the players in Vegas compared to the people we're playing with in Atlantic City is, you know, by and far, you know, drastically different.